there was some strange movement, and there was some kind of information came out that there's going to be upcoming tariffs on gold. Hello everybody. I hope you had a great trading week wherever you are in the world. This weekly analysis will be short, straight to the point, so let's just go ahead and jump in. This week starting on the 11th of August 2025, hard to believe that we're already so far into the year. And let's just jump in right into the forexfactory.com. This is our go-to website for the high impact news that's coming out. And it's kind of a regular week for the news. The only outstanding unusual thing will be the cash rate for the Australian economy, and they are expected to lower the interest rate. So that will be good for the Australian dollar. Just be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. And now let's have a look at these great trades that materialized last week, the profit and loss from last week's trades. And first of all, before we do that, of course, I always look at the DXY. And that yellow line, horizontal line with a yellow arrow, that's where the US dollar finished at the end of last week. And I did say, if you go back and play that video, that we would see continuing decline, continuing weakness of the US dollar, because what we saw the previous week, I said, was not sustainable. And this is exactly how it's starting to play out. The US dollar continuing to decline as it has been doing ever since the beginning of this year. Before we look at gold and the currencies, just a quick look at Bitcoin. It got a little bit scary in the previous week, dropped down to 112,000, but has now started to march back up to higher prices. You see that yellow arrow and the line there, that's where it closed 7 days ago. It does trade 7 days a week. And at the making of this video, it's almost at 118,000. It's made a big move up today on Sunday, the 10th of August. A $2,000 move in just one day, and it looks like it might keep going to higher prices. So yes, still bullish on Bitcoin. And then let's look at gold. This is what I had for you last week, and I said bearish on the day chart, but my bias was bullish, and that's because on the 4-hour chart, when you start to see a bullish bias, then that indicates that the day chart will follow pretty quickly behind that. So the day chart and the 4-hour chart are both bullish this week. But I gave you a cautious and conservative entry price of $33.40. I said it might not come back that far, and it didn't. Okay, but once it took off, there was no holding it back. So that was, if you got in early on Monday, after it started to move up, the total move of the week was 640 pips. Great bullish move on XAU USD. Then the Euro US, I was bullish on all the major pairs. I had a buy limit on that one, and that gave me 123 pips. Then the odd US, these pending orders opened on Monday morning. And the odd US, we got 81 pips out of that one. The New Zealand US, 61 pips on that one. The pound US was a good one. That was a market execution order. I said when the market opens on Monday morning, just buy the pound US. And that turned out to be a really cash cow, 188 pips on the pound US. Then the USD CAD was a sell limit, and that one gave us 78 pips. And then the UJ was also a market execution order. I said to sell when the market opens on Monday, Tokyo being one of the first markets to open when the week starts. And that executed very well, and we got 72, 73 pips on that one. Now let's look at the pending orders. These are the orders that I have in place, the trade setups that are ready to go for this upcoming week. And I share these with you to help you make profit in your trading. But just remember, this is not financial advice. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. The information that I share with you in these videos is strictly for educational purposes. It's up to you to manage your own account and to use good risk management. And if you don't know how to do risk management, I've got several videos on my channel, youtube.com/@rickray, and go in there and check out those videos on risk management. They will help you to better manage your trading account. So the first one we look at is the Euro US, and I have a buy limit on that one with the entry price at 1.1630, continuing to be bullish on the major pairs. And the odd US, a buy limit with the entry price at 0.6515. The New Zealand US, buy. Okay, this is market execution. New Zealand is the first market to open in the beginning of the week on Monday morning. So when the market opens, I'm sure you probably don't get up that early unless you live in New Zealand or Australia. But when the market opens, just take a market execution order and buy the New Zealand US. The pound US is a buy limit. Okay, let that retrace just ever so slightly to the entry point at 1.3440. The USD CAD is a sell, another market execution order. All right, at that yellow line that you see there, the price that you see, and it should be continuing its move downward with the decline of the US dollar. So the USD CAD sell, market execution when the market opens on Monday. And the JPY, the UJ, also a sell. We got profit out of this one last week, and we should see a bigger return on profit this upcoming week. So a market execution order on the USD JPY. Just sell when the market opens on Monday. And finally, gold, the one that everybody loves to trade, XAU USD, a buy limit. Still maintaining bullish bias on the gold because the day chart and the 4-hour chart are also giving bullish indication. So I have a conservative entry point with 3390. It might not pull back that far. It might bounce off of the psychological number 3400. So in that zone, 3390 to 3400 is where you should have a buy limit. Be watching for that one to start going to higher prices. And 3430 is going to be easily reached next week. Very easy. I'm quite sure we'll probably get up to 3450 and possibly even get back up to our all-time high of 3,500. But definitely maintaining bullish bias on gold. However, just be aware, guys, that if you were not watching the market on the close of the U.S. session on Friday, there was some strange movement. And there was some kind of information came out that there's going to be upcoming tariffs on gold. And the market kind of freaked out momentarily. And then it was corrected, that news, and somebody said this is misinformation. So gold immediately went back to what it normally does at the close of the U.S. session on Friday, and it just traded sideways. But it was a little bit, what's going on here? Was that leaked information? And maybe this is something we're going to see next week, that there will actually be tariffs on gold, and we weren't supposed to hear about it on the previous Friday. Who knows? It's hard to keep up with what Trumpty Dumpty does and says, and what he's going to do and what he's not going to do. It's kind of like Winston Churchill said one time, years and years ago, one damn thing after another. And that's what we have to put up with. It is what it is, guys. We just trust our strategy, protect our capital, and play the game the best we can. So just be aware of that and keep your eyes on gold. Otherwise, definitely bullish on gold with the entry price, the buy limit that I have showed you previously. Okay, and that's all I have for you guys. Very short one this week, straight to the point, sharing my profit and loss from last week and the trade setups that I have for this upcoming week. I hope that these tips and suggestions will help you to be profitable trading Forex. If you want more information about trading, go to my website, rickrayfx.com. And if you're new to this channel, of course, be sure to subscribe, click the little bell so you'll be notified every time I make one of these videos. Wherever you are in the world, have a great week. And don't forget, be kind to yourself, be kind to others.